Awesome name. For you are Yah, and beside you there is no other El. You've given us strength of body, mind, soul, and spirit. You have protected us from hurt, harm, dangers, seen, unseen. Most of all, you have provided us with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We ask you, set apart spirit, come into this house, this tabernacle with us. Allow your anointing to fall upon those who are here to serve, the worship, the one who's going to teach. Look upon your people everywhere that you have dispersed them. Even those that haven't awakened yet to realize that they're your people. We pray for them. We lift them up, that their time will come, that they will hearken and turn back to you. Let this day be filled with your presence. For we are so thankful to you. And we give you and you alone praise. Amen.
On the sun, the moon, and stars, I'm amazed at who you are. Created just for me. Because of you, I am redeemed. I thank you for your love. I thank you for your peace in the time of storm. I thank you for your joy. Now I stand in victory. Yeah. The trees wave and the birds sing. The fish are swimming in the streams. The oceans are large and they are vast. These are wonders created by your hands. I thank you for your love. I thank you for your peace in the time of storm. I thank you for your joy. Now I stand in victory. Yahweh, Yahweh. 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 I thank you for your love. I thank you for your peace in a time of storm. I thank you for your joy. Now I stand in victory. You hung the sun, the moon, and stars. I'm amazed at who you are. Created just for me. Because of you, I am redeemed. I thank you for your love. I thank you for your peace in a time of storm. I thank you for your joy. Now I stand in victory. I say, Yahweh, Yahweh. Yahweh, Yahweh. Yahweh, Yahweh. Yahweh, Yahweh. Thank you for your love. I thank you for your peace in a time of storm. I thank you for your joy. Now we stand in victory. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, we can do better than that. Shabbat Shalom. For this is the day that Yah has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. I say Shabbat Shalom to all of you who are watching by stream or whatever source of social media. May the peace of Yah be with you on this beautiful, beautiful day. And I say Shalom. Only you. Only you. Only you. Only you. My Redeemer. My Savior. I come to worship only you, only you, only you, only you, only you, my Redeemer. My Savior, I come to worship only you. I test you, I test you, I test you, created me, Yahweh, a clean spirit. I come to worship. I come to worship. I come to worship. Only you. Here we go. Here I stand with lifted hands. Here I stand with lifted hands. Caress my soul, Yahweh. Make me whole, Yahweh. I come to worship. I come to worship. I come to worship. Only you. Hey. Only you. Hey. Only you. Hey. Only you. Hey. Hey. Only you. Only you. I come to worship. I come to worship. I come to worship. Only you. I come to worship. I come to give him everything that is mine. Every fiber of my body loves him, and I adore him. And I also know just how real he is, and how powerful and mighty that he is. For without him, we are absolutely nothing. I come to you with hands up raised. I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come to you. I come to you with hands up raised. I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come to you. Here we go. You're the river living water that flows to life to me. You're the all-consuming fire. You're the air that I breathe. You are beauty for ashes, the essence of all things. I come to you. I come to you. With hands up raised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come to you. Verse 2, here we go. Lying in times of darkness, I put my trust in thee. You were there with me in battle, I claim the victory. I worship and adore you, Elohim, you are my king. I come to you, here we go. I come to you, hey, with hands up raised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come to you. Here we go. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. Yeah. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. Yeah. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. I come to you with the hands upraised. I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come to you. Hey, I come to you with the hands upraised. I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come to you. I come to you with the hands upraised. I come to you. Come on. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come to you. Here we go. My soul says yeah. 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 Yeah. My soul says yeah. I come to you. Everybody say it. With hands upraised, I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come to you. Hey, one more time, I come to you. With the hands upraised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come to you. My soul says yes. My soul says yes. My soul says yes. Yeah. My soul says yes. My soul says yes. My soul says yes. Yeah. 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 Yes. 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 My soul, my soul, my soul, it says yes. Shalom. I come to you with hands upraised. I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come to you.
Well, it's always good to be here in congregation on Shabbat. There's a lot going on in our world. There are a lot of our Hebrew people who are trying to gravitate to this Hebraicness. And because the way is so fractured and there's no uniformity within the scope of teaching, our people want to know, but a lot of them are being led the wrong way. Pure Hebrews teach about the Most High and the Most High only. the only power in the universe that has created all things is Yahweh. And his texts, his prophets, his writings support that. Had an opportunity to talk to someone this week, and as I listened to them, I became very disheartened because while I could tell that their soul wanted to know, they became connected with people who are leading them down the wrong path. Following the way of the Most High and being Hebraic is not a cult. It's not a cult. The Most High has given us a way of life, and he's given us the opportunity to choose. He says, I'm going to give you the opportunity to choose. But anyway, for another day, at this time we have our teacher that's going to come and continue the study today in the book of Shemuel, Ambassador Sean Appleton. Greet him.
All right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. It is yet another honor and joy to be in front of you yet another Shabbat. A Shabbat that was not entitled or promised to me based on any of the things that make up Sean D. Appleton. I've tried my best this week to observe the Most High's mitzvot as much as I could. I can't be perfect. None of us can be. So, I am very grateful and thankful to be here. To the one that from out of nothing created everything, that in 7 days designed everything, and nothing has been created afterwards. To the El of our ancestors, Havel, Devorah, Zipporah, Rivka, Leah, Bilhah, Zilpah, Yael, Esther, Judith. To that one El, I've named all those women because we tend to focus on all of the men. But we have to understand that there's a support group that's behind that man. Our greatest teacher, we call the GOAT. His life was saved by his wife. He violated something and the Most High was getting ready to wipe him out. So to that El, thank you. And I appreciate this opportunity and time to be in front of your Ibir. To all of you wrongdoers, and you know who you are, what we would call fools, individuals who know the mitzvot and decide not to do them at all, or like to choose which ones they like to do. You wrongdoers, Shabbat Shalom to you. Hopefully you will get something out of this teaching today that would bring you back or reel you back in. To the mentor and friend, statesman and head ambassador of this house, Robert B. Holman Jr., Shabbat Shalom to our minister and content creator of all things audible. I'm trying to be eloquent here. Kevin R. Holman, Shabbat Shalom to you. And I would be very, very remiss if I didn't say to all of the Ibir that are here in this house, in this studio audience, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All right. Oh, it's good to be back up here. I have to apologize publicly because I don't know what the Most High is going to do today. If I don't get through, can I have one more? Can I have one more? I think I might need one more on this 13th day of the second month of the Ibr year. All right? My intention is to do this series and finish it out so we have an opportunity to see Melech Shaul, his son, and all of the things that happened to him and lead us right up to the doorstep of King David, which happens in chapter number 16. So if the Most High allows today, I may be able to get through all of this, but this is so rich with content that I just don't want to leave any juice in the fruit. I want to strain it all. So, with that, Most High willing, we are going to be in, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go back and start by saying, actually, to all of the folks that were viewing by way of the stream, I forgot to greet you. Shabbat Shalom. I am Ambassador Sean D. Appleton, and we are going to continue our Hebrew study in 1 Samuel chapter 14 and 15. In chapter number 14, again, we will see King Shaul's son initiates a battle against the Philistine, and the empire of Israel save Yehotanan. Who's that? He's the son of who? Yes, Melech Shaul, from King Shaul's oath. This is such a rich text. Oh my goodness. That's why I'm saying I may need to throw me a lifeline to get me one more week up here to finish this up. Melech Shaul in chapter number 15 is instructed to destroy the Amalekites. And there's some other things that's in there, but that's the main theme of what we're going to talk about. I will be in these particular chapters and verses today, if you want to follow along. And matter of fact, without any further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? Let's do a brief overview of what we went over last, or at least attempted to finish last week, which is in chapter 14. If we start at the beginning of chapter number 14, it says, on the day Yotanan, the son of Shaul, him and his armor bearer, they were going to the garrison of the Philistine. And last time I talked, I tried to let you guys all understand that this is being motivated by the Most High. We've seen this happen before, where we said what? He went out and he assassinated the governor of the Philistine. Prompted by what? We don't ever find out why. What prompted him out of the blue just to go ahead and slaughter this Philistine governor? We don't know. So what we can concur is that the Most High motivated this. And so we see here again as Yehotanan and his armor bearer, he comes up with this idea that's, again, in my opinion, because I cannot contextually prove this, this is me standing on my own by saying this, that he's being provoked by the Most High. And then it goes on to say that his father had 600 men. These are like the Green Beret of Hebrew, or said of the Ibir. 600 of these men. And I went through that whole thing about they didn't have what? Weapons. They didn't have any knives. They didn't have any swords. They didn't have any of those. So I said, don't bring a gun to a knife fight, because these men are trained to use the territory around them, the things they use, slings. Could pick off a bird moving in the air at I don't know how many yards away with laser target accuracy. 600 of the best are with Melech Shaul. Melech Shaul is sitting under a pomegranate tree. I said that, again, we did our little dissertation on pomegranates. And then also we understood that there is some speculation that a pomegranate tree represents victory. We go on as we enter into verse number 4, between or the passes by which Yochanan was trying to cross over into the garrison of the Philistine. There were 2 rocky spurs, and how our ancestor climbed this rocky spur and annihilated the Philistine army. Now, we've got 3 confirmations that happen within this text. Number 1, he's being provoked by the Most High to go ahead and wage this. He says, what? If they tell us and they see us, because they say, look at these Ibir coming out of their caves and their holes. They've been hiding from us. Right? So, what do they say? They say, look at them, they're coming. And Yehohanan says to his armor bearer, he says, if they say to us, come up to you, then we know that Yahweh will give us victory. If they don't, then we're fried fish. Okay? So, don't engage, abort, abort, abort. So we see what the Most High provoke him. We see also that the Philistines actually do say, as they're standing on that rocky spur, shouting down to them, come up to us. That's the confirmation. Second confirmation. And his third witness is that his armor bearer says what to him? He says, whatever you want to do, man, I'm with you. I'm a rider. Let's go. You should see the faces of these young people in here. They're like, dude, y'all are hilarious over here. So, I'm with you. Let's go. I'm a rider. They climb this rocky spur. We're down here over in verse, let's go down to 12. Then the men of the garrison said to Yehohanan and his armor bearer, come on up. As we get down to 13, he climbs up, he slaughters them, about 20 men and about half an acre, which is about 200 yards. In verse 15, we see that there was a panic amongst the Philistine camp. And so what's happening here? The Most High runs in and starts causing this confusion, upon which what? The Philistines start infighting. They start fighting themselves. And there's an earthquake. What's Melech Shaul's position at this point? What's he see? He sees this happening, right? And then he says what? Bring the ark down, because we need the Most High here. He's trying to follow the protocol in Devarim chapter number 20. Now, we went over chapter number 20 for 2 weeks in a row. So here's your pop quiz, Ibir. What are some of the mitzvot in Devarim chapter number 20? The mitzvot on war, an engagement of war. Nobody at one time. Just shout it out. What? Addressing who? Elaborate on that. Addressing the men how? That's right. Look at this. Look at these Hebrews rattling off these mitzvot. Come on. Has to go before. So, okay. What else? Offer him terms of peace, actually, for towns that are outside of the land. Okay. What else? That's another mitzvot that relates to that. In order to be in the army, you had to be over 21. Matter of fact, I think that is in there. Actually, it is. You have to be the age of 20 and up. Come on. I think y'all named them all except for one. Don't be afraid. There's actually 2 left. That was one of them. What else? There's this other one about when you're in the land. And I tell you to annihilate these people that are in your land. So we have a mitzvot that talks about when there are towns outside of the land, what they're supposed to do is go in there, offer them terms of peace. If they don't get the terms of peace and they want to wage war against you, kill all of the men. But you can have, as what did it say, as booty, the women, all the spoils. That's the mitzvot on that. And then we have a mitzvot that's inside the land about when it's time for terms of engagement. There is no diplomatic, I want to say resolution, for lack of eloquence. You are to go in there and annihilate them all. The goldfish, the babies, the dog, the cat, whomever is in there. Kill all the roaches that are there while you're there too. Kill everything. Men, women, children. That's inside the land. And then you are supposed to be able to get the spoil as well. Okay? That was in 20. You guys did an excellent job. You guys need to give yourselves a hand. My goodness. That's what we're talking about. You see that? You ibir are evaluating text by the text. Now we have an understanding why things are written the way they are. Okay, back to 1 Samuel chapter 15. They bring up the ark of El in verse 18. And we also see in 19 that the Philistine continued to get louder and louder as the battle ensued. Now Shaul goes ahead and assembles his whole entire force, his battle force. And he says, let's take a head count. They count everybody and they figure out that who's not there. Yehohanan and his armor bearer. So he figures that they're across the way fighting the Philistine and it's already started. So what does he do? He tells what? The Kohanim, put your hands down. Why? He tells him to put his hands down because you're right. Melech Shaul is in a panic now. He's saying the battle is raging without us. The Most High has already set the battle in motion and we're late. Okay? So he's saying, okay, put your hands down. What I'm trying to get at is that mitzvot that says we must inquire of the Most High should we go to battle, and then the Most High will let us know what's going on, okay? And that was with the Urim and the Thummim, correct? All right. So he says, put your hands down. We don't need you to inquire of the Most High. Wrong. Wrong. Out of protocol. Right out of the gate. Okay? He goes ahead. He's in a panic mode. I just want to put you in the state of where Melech Shaul's. This is a rush. Let's get to the battle. Let's get to the battle. In verse number 24, which is kind of where we left off last time. So I'm going to pick up with more in-depth dissertation. People are like, what are you talking about, more in-depth dissertation? That's what you've been doing the whole entire time? 24. Israel's soldiers had been driven to exhaustion that day, but Shaul issued this warning to the people: a curse on any man who eats any food until evening, when I will have finished taking vengeance on my enemies. So none of the people tasted food. Now the people came to the forest where there was honeycomb on the ground. When the people had entered the forest, they saw the honeycomb but no one put his hand to his mouth because the people feared what? Come on. The what? The oath. All right. I'm going to get on my soapbox for a little bit, okay? If I had to, none of the mitzvot have a hierarchy. Can we agree on that? The Most High didn't say, these are more important than these over here. Christianity does that. So, if I had to pick a mitzvot that is the absolute favorite, if you had the opportunity to sit with Yahweh, as Moshe did, our ancestor, and see face to face, and I'm pretty sure he asked him this. I can imagine in my mind's eye. Hey, Yahweh, what's your favorite mitzvot? I would bet dollars to donuts the Most High would have said, oaths. Oaths. Because it was an oath between the Most High and your ancestor Abraham that says, be circumcised in your flesh. This is your ticket into the land, a land that I'm going to promise you and your people. I'm going to make you a great nation. That's an oath. That's something that you have to honor. That's something as Hebrews we have to exhibit at all times. An oath is your word, it's your bond. You can tell an ibir by their behavior. If I say I'm going to do something, I had better well do it. If you say that you're going to do something, you had better well do it. Be here. These oaths are things that the Most High doesn't take lightly. We are under an oath right now that says that we will matriculate back into the land someday. Is that not being upheld by the Most High on his end? You think that's been done away with? We don't acknowledge that anymore? Where did we get that from? That's why I would say I would bet dollars to donuts that oaths would be the Most High's favorite. The Most High, what do they say? Was the same as yesterday, today, and forever. The Most High doesn't change. Now, I want to make sure to the Ibir, that means something different than it does to the Christian. When I say the Most High doesn't change to the Ibir, that's something different. I'm going to say that again than it is from a Christian. See, most Christians will look at that and say, he doesn't change, meaning that, oh, he's still gracious. He's still long-suffering. He's still compassionate. He's still all of these feelings. But for the Ibir, what does that mean? So at least in a Christian sense, they can say, okay, well, he's all of these things, but he can change his mind when it comes to his word. Because he's God. But to the Ibir, when we say the Most High doesn't change, what does that mean to you? I spoke it into existence. I created everything that's here. From nothing, I created everything. Told you about it. And now we're at the point where hopefully you understand. You get where I'm going. Okay, I don't need to take it no further than that. Let's get back into the text. 27. But Yehohanan hadn't heard his father's charging of the people with the what? The oath. Thank you. I got somebody that I didn't put to sleep already. So he put out the end of his staff in his hand, dipped it in the honeycomb, and raised it to his mouth, whereupon his eyes lit up. I would charge you to, again, even though we use Brother Stern's interpretation of the text, you always have to check him too, okay? I thought it was real weird that the text and his translation of the text used the word, his eyes lit up. But when you look at the Masoretic text, it actually says his countenance lit up. He was hangry. He had low blood sugar. And when he ate something that had sugar in it, he perked on up. That's what the text is saying here. Going to try to figure out and say, oh, well, see, that means he had blue eyes right there. No, it's not what that means. So it's not eyes, it's countenance lit up. 28. But one of the people said in response, your father strictly charged the people with an oath, a curse on any man who eats any food today, even though the people are fainting with hunger. Can we do some role playing? Yes, let's do some role playing. Who said yes in the back? Okay, let's do some role playing. Olivia. Let's role play. Let's make sure we totally understand what your ancestors are going through right now. And I'm smiling. Okay? Your ancestors have fought a battle, these 600 men. I personally know how difficult it is on Pesach to take a lamb and slaughter it, let alone a man, and thousands of them. And you're a force of 600. You're exhausted. Most of us cannot do the walk around the reservoir or down the street. Okay? Your ancestors are exhausted. And they have been told, matter of fact, Melech Shaul makes an oath with Yahweh that says, We have to fulfill this, and I'm putting this on a people. They got an oath put on them that they didn't. Who signed up for this? I'd have been the first one asking, who went to King Shaul and said, this is what we need to do? They didn't co-sign for this. He's doing this on his own. So he says, I'm putting an oath on all my subjects. You cannot eat anything. Some of y'all, my Hebrew, I'm going to talk about, I don't want to be offensive. I want to talk about my culture. I know what it's like when you get a bunch of Negroes in a room and they haven't eaten for any time at all. It's not hangry. That's something from some evil, dark, abyss place that they come from when they talk to you when they're hungry. I wish my wife was here because I would actually put her on blast right now. Her side of the family, you really don't want that happening to you at all anytime soon. You will quickly find out that you are not family. Okay? Your ancestors are tired and deep, and near I say, okay, YouTube, bleep this word out. Pissed off. All right? Let's put ourselves where our ancestors are. So we're a little upset. And then here comes Yehochanan, and he's going to do something. And you're going to see this. Okay, let's go. It says, Yehochanan answered, my father has brought trouble to the land. Just look how my eyes have lit up, or my countenance has looked up, because I've tasted a little of this honey. How much greater would the slaughter of the Philistine have been today than if the people had eaten freely of the spoil they found with their enemies? Oh my goodness. He's saying, my father doesn't know how to rule. He's not a military man. He's making idiotic mistakes. And not only is he making idiotic mistakes, go ahead and see how much of morale that actually you would have behind your men if you would have allowed them to follow the mitzvot. What's the mitzvot say? When you sack these outside towns, once they're sacked, you are free to take the spoil of whatever. What did Melech Shaul do? He told him, no, you're not doing anything. Why? I got to see it first. I'm the king. I get the best of the best. Nobody eats until he's putting himself first instead of the Ibir. He's elevating himself as a leader irresponsibly, and it's now causing bad morale amongst his fighting men. Stupid mistakes. This is not a military leader, nor does he have a heart for, what did I call it last week? Gang. Mitzvos. The Most High's mind. He don't care. We're going to continue to see this unfold. Let's go somewhere. Matter of fact, 31. That day they had attacked the Philistine from Michmas to Ayalon. Not only did they fight, kill men, were tired and exhausted, ticked off. They did this over 18 miles. That's how far that is, Michmas to Elon. It's 18 miles. Come on, y'all. Let's go outside and run one. Ain't a person in here raising their hand. Okay? He said, but the people were very exhausted. I have to make sure I punctuate that. Very exhausted. So the people rushed at the spoil. They said, forget this. I don't care what he has put on us. We are going to fulfill the mitzvot. So they rushed at the spoil, seizing sheep, cows, calves, slaughtering them on the ground, and eating the flesh with the blood. Oh my goodness, Miss. There we go. Mitzvot. Bing, 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 bing. Okay. I want to, as I'm doing my research on this, I want you to not put yourself in a horror movie, okay? Don't do that with your ancestors. The mitzvot says that when you kill something, you're to do it in a way that is what they call kosher. You have to drain its blood a certain way. Don't think that your ancestors were out there just tearing into raw animals. Okay? That's how the text is written, how you see it here. But when you do your research on it, there's a different implication that's there. Let's just clear the air with that in case some of you have carnal minds. The mitzvot that you guys are referring to, which is awesome, is in Vayikra, chapter number 17, verses 13 and 14. And it reads, we'll go in there. I'm gonna wait and just bask in the Most High. Vayikra, chapter 17, which is Leviticus, verses 13 through 14. Okay. It says, thank you. It doesn't say thank you. I'm saying thank you to Sister Cheryl in the back. When someone from the community of Israel or one of its foreigners living with you hunts and catches game, whether animal or bird, that may be eaten. So he's referring to another mitzvah, right? You have to examine what you eat. He is to pour out its blood and cover it with earth. For the life of every creature, its blood is its life. Therefore, I said to the people of Israel, you are not to eat what? Blood of any or human beings, creatures. Okay, so whatever you symbolize in blood to be. High C. Water with number 2 red dye in it. Grape juice. Wine. Merlot. I don't care what. Y'all caught that? It's Merlot. I know how to talk. Oh my goodness. Whatever that may be that you're substituting for something else and cannibalism, I just want you to understand you're in violation of the mitzvot as it stands right here. Don't shoot the messenger. Because right now I have a bulletproof vest on called the mitzvot. All right. Y'all should turn that into a meme. Anyway, Shaul was told, look how the people are sinning against Yahweh, eating with the blood. Look at this dude. Come on, Shaul, stop. You've been in a battle with these men. Do you not know somebody had to come and tell you that they were breaking a mitzvah? Didn't you see that they were breaking a mitzvah? Why does someone have to tell you that they're breaking a mitzvah? It tells you that this dude's mind, he don't know. If one of the people has to say, hey, don't you see the dudes? They ain't draining those things kosher. Oh, that's a mitzvah? Oh, okay, I better do something about that. This is this dude, he's kind of bumbling and befooling himself right now. 33, Shaul was told, look how the people are sinning against Yahweh, eating with the blood. He said, you have not kept faith. How dare you? You going to put this on them? They didn't break the mitzvah. You did. Roll a big stone to me immediately. Now, Shaul said, go around among the people and tell them each of you is to bring his cow, his sheep, and slaughter here. Then eat. Don't sin against Yahweh by eating with the blood. Okay, because you was told that from somebody else. So each person brought his animal with him that evening and killed it there. It takes about a good, probably a seasoned pro, maybe 2.5, 3 hours if you bring in something. And we bring in bulls and sheep. We're talking about big animals, okay? After you had got done beating this army and you were tired and you're angry, now I got to do this. I'm just saying, they're not really happy right now with their leader. Shaul said, let's go after the Philistine by night. Yeah, eat up. Get your McDonald's in the morning. Matter of fact, in the evening, we're going to go plunder these guys and leave no one alive. They answered, do whatever seems good to you. But the Kohen said, Let's approach El here. I'm glad we have somebody that actually knows the mitzvot. Again, the Most High didn't co-sign for this. You are acting on your own. He's not learning from his mistakes. Shaul consulted El. Thank you. Should I go down in pursuit of the Philistine? Will you hand them over to Israel? But he didn't answer him that day. I'm going to give you some commentary later on in this text about something that's going to come up with why the Most High is not inflicting something on who you think. 38. Shaul said, come here, all you heads of the people. Think carefully. Who has committed this sin today? For as Yahweh Israel lives, even if it proves to be Yehotanan, my son, he must be put to death. Now, why is he talking like this? He's making mistake after mistake. He's got to get the morale back of his troops. He's got to act like he knows what he's talking about. Okay? He's behind all the time. He's always retroactive. He's not proactive. There's a reason why he's talking like this. He don't even know the half of the mitzvot. So all of a sudden you have an epiphany about him. He's being provoked by someone close to him to answer this way. But again, I'm going to preface that by saying that's me talking. The people replied to Shaul, do what seems good to you. Shaul said to Yahweh, the El of Israel. I skipped quite a bit today. Excuse me. Let me go back to 38. Said, but no one among all the people answered him. 40. Then he said to all of Israel, you be on one side, and I and Yehotanan, my son, will be on the other side. The people replied to Shaul, do what seems good to you. Shaul said to Yahweh, the El of Israel, who's right? Yehotanan, Shaul were chosen by Lot, and the people went free. See, we see what's happening here. So either the priest is there with the Urim and Thummim, and they're casting lots to ask the question, who is it? Let's have all these 600 guys over here, and me and my son will be on this side, and then pick between the two of us, whatever comes out, that'll be the individuals that will just zero it down based on that. It's something that we do as Ibir. Yehotanan matter of fact, it says in 42, it says, Shaul said, cast lots between me and Yehotanan, my son. Yehotanan was chosen. Then Shaul said to Yehotanan, tell me what you did. Let's stop for a second. Doesn't this seem a little unfair? Yehotanan didn't know about this oath. He's naive to it. But you constantly see Melech Shaul messing up, breaking mitzvot left and right. Why is just this one infraction so important that Yehotanan had to be picked? Wouldn't you have said, okay, out of everybody that's here, who's been breaking the most mitzvot? Who would you say? Out of the people we've introduced, Shemuel, Melech Shaul, Yehotanan, out of these three guys, who's been breaking the most mitzvot? Shaul. So why is Yehotanan why is he picked? I have a speculation. And it has to do everything with Melech David. See, Melech David, if you get rid of Melech Shaul, then Melech David doesn't have an opportunity to see how administration is ran. There is some period where there's going to be some type of transition where he's in the house of Melech Shaul. He sees how things have run, and he knows where the pitfalls are, and which makes him a better leader. So we need Melech Shaul for a little bit longer, okay? But the Most High already has an out, and you're going to find out about it. Yehotanan appears to be a scapegoat, but there's a reason why I'm going to, come on, I'm taking on my thunder. says, Shaul said, cast lots between me and Yehohanan, my son. Yehohanan was chosen. Then Shaul said to Yehohanan, tell me what you did. Yehohanan told him, yes, I tasted a little honey with the end of the staff in my hand. Here I am ready to die. Cold-blooded. Name me 2 other people that was cold-blooded just like that in the same situation. Come on. Come on. Somebody got led up a mountain. And at the top of the mountain, there was a burning bush. I sound like an old Baptist preacher. There was a burning bush at the top of that mountain. When he saw that burning bush, he said, okay, you don't have to do nothing to the boy. But prior to getting there, he says, hey, listen, son, we got to go up to the top of the mountain. And he says to he's Abraham, very good. He says, Father, whatever. If the Most High, if that's the will of the Most High, I will honor the oath between you and him. So I have to die, I have to die. Who recently had the same situation? If you give me victory, Yahweh, over these people, the first thing that comes out of my door, I will send as a sacrifice. Yiftach, the judge, in the same situation. And what does she do as an Ibir? I accept the oath that the Most High has with you. Your word is your bond. You are proven. I'm going to talk about men. You are proven by a man by your word. Don't think that you're going to be a leader in anybody's home and you're not able to provide what you say you're going to provide. If you are to be a whatever covering you're supposed to be, physical, spiritual, I don't care what it is. That is your oath. That's your word. And then I'm going to tell you, once you start reneging on your oath, that woman is going to see it. And then she'll start looking elsewhere to where someone's word actually means something. That's built in. That comes standard factory. Like you get a car, it better come with some air conditioning and some power steering. Women are built with that in them. I'm stepping on toes. Ouch. But that's okay. Because this is about facts, not feelings. Facts, not feelings. I'm just in a spot right now. I'm just going to stay here. The Most High, like I had said, is interested in making sure he is a great example to you about what it means to honor your word. These mitzvot are the word of the Most High. Okay, I'll go. Yehohanan told him, yes, I tasted a little honey at the end of my staff in my hand. Here I am ready to die. Shaul said, may El do the same to me and more also if you are put to death, Yehohanan. If you are not put to death, Yehohanan. Let's read it slow. May El. Everybody know who that is? Okay, we know who that is. Do the same to me and more also if you are not put to death, Yehohanan. He's so eager to get rid of his son. He's got to show, and it's not because he loves his son. Has nothing to do with that. Has everything to do with I got to show face in front of these folk that I'm a good leader and I can do the mitzvot, which I know nothing about. Has nothing to do with his son right now. He's already proven that even the ones that I didn't even have to finish the sentence before we was talking about don't eat blood, and you were like, bing, 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 mitzvah. How come Shaul doesn't know that? Okay? So, but the people said to Shaul, must Yehohanan die, who has accomplished this great deliverance in Israel? Heaven forbid, or Hashemayim forbid, as Yahweh lives, not one hair on his head will fall to the ground, because he worked with El today. Go on ahead, Hebrew Israel. When they king who wasn't worth squat, they made, okay, Sperry, Paul, Perry, you know, it's like a little jousting match. Okay, you want to come up with your oath? We got ours. Okay, you want to put your oath on us? We're going to spare Yehohanan. Why is that? That's a part of a plan. Who's David's best friend? Yehohanan. At least you have somebody in administration of Melech Shaul that knows the mitzvot. And as King David matriculates into that position, he has a friend. There's a reason why they spoke up and saved him. It was a part of a plan. So, in this way, the people rescued Yehohanan so that he didn't die. Then Shaul stopped pursuing the Philistine, and the Philistine returned to their own territory. 47, so Shaul took over the rulership of Israel. Actually, if you read it in other translations, it would say that he established his sovereignty. Does anybody remember the warning that Shemuel gave, or matter of fact, to the people when they said they wanted a king? Very good. Very good. That's exactly where I'm going. It's in 1 Shemuel. You don't have to go get this. I'll just read this. It's in 1 Shemuel chapter 8, verses 10 through 11. So when it says that he established his rulership, these are some of the things that Melech Shaul instituted. Let's take a look at it. Shemuel reported everything Yahweh had said to the people asking for a king. He said, here is the kind of rulings your king will make. He will draft your sons and assign them to take care of his chariots, be his horsemen, and be bodyguards running ahead of his chariots. He will appoint them to serve as his officers in charge of thousands or 50, plowing his fields, gathering his harvest, and making his weapons and the equipment for the chariots. He will take your daughters and have them be perfume makers, cooks, and bakers. He will exasperate your fields, vineyards, and olive groves, the very best for him. Wow. Them, the very best of them, of the peoples, their stuff. And hand them over to his servants. He will then take 10% tax on your crops and vineyards and give it to his officers and servants. He will take your male and female servants, your best of your young men and your donkeys, and make them work for him. He will take 10% tax of your flocks, and you will become his servants. 18, when that happens, you will cry out on the account of your king, whom yourselves chose. But when that happens, Yahweh will not answer you. This is what Melech Shaul goes and does. He establishes his rulership. He establishes this. This was foretold by Shemuel prior to it happening. That is why he is a true, what we call prophet and seer. These things are being exposed. It says, like going back to chapter number 1, 1 Shemuel chapter 15. Let's pick back up at 47. 47. It says right there, it says, he fought against all the enemies on every side, against Moab and the people of Ammon, Edom, and the kings of Zovah, and the Philistine. No matter which way he turned, he defeated them. He demonstrated his strength by attacking Amalek. Chapter 15 is about this group. And he saved Israel from the power of those who were plundering them. It's ironic that they say plundering in the same sentence as Amalek. Amalek actually means the plunderers. Verse 49 says, the sons of Shaul. Now, remember, when we first started out, I said we really didn't know anything about his family. This is where we actually learn about a couple of his kids. And that's when I had made mention of, in my research, it looks like he had at least 2 wives and anywhere from 9 to 10 children. Okay? The majority of them being boys. But we hear about some of them here. It says, the sons of Shaul were Yehotanan, Yivishi, Melikshua, while the names of his 2 daughters were these. The name of the older was Merav, and the younger was Michal. Shaul's wife was named Ahanik. Oh boy, sounds like I choked. Ahanikam, and the daughter of Achamatz. The commander of his army was named Avner, the son of Ner, Shaul's uncle. So his commander of his army was his cousin. Kish was the father of Shaul, and Ner was the follower of Avner, was the son of Aviel. 52. As long as Shaul lived, there was bitter war against the Philistine. Whenever Shaul saw any strong or courageous man, he recruited him into his service. That ends chapter number 14. 15. All right, Most High, let's see, work your magic. Shemuel. We are going to see the demise of Melech Shaul in this chapter. Shemuel said to Shaul, Yahweh sent me to anoint you king over his people, over Israel. Now listen to what Yahweh has to say. Ibir, listen. Here is what Yahweh Sabaoth says. I remember what Amalek did to Israel, how they fought against Israel when they were coming up out of Egypt. Now go and attack the Amalek and completely destroy everything they have. We clear? Don't spare them, but kill men and women, children and babies, cows and sheep, camel and donkeys. Now, I want to go back because I want to talk about these Amalekites. These Amalekites are going to be a thorn in the side of Hebrew Israel for a very, very long time. You're going to see the Amalekites show up with, I'm giving away my thunder already. He said, come on. All right, somebody in the back got it. What did I just read to you that Most High wants him to do to the Amalekites? Annihilate them. And I just told you that they show up with Melech David. They show up when King Hezekiah is around. They actually show up in the book of Esther. Did I get that right? No, excuse me, that's not true. Chronicles is where they show up, where they are finally eliminated by a group of Simeonites from the tribe of Simeon. And that's when they actually get obliterated. But I want to read some things to you. Shemot chapter 17, verses 8 and 13. It says, the Amalek came and fought with Israel at Rephidim. I'm going to show you where they show up first because it's very famous. And actually, for the sake of time, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paraphrase this whole entire piece. This is when they said they were out in the desert and 2 individuals went up. One was his protege, which was Yehoshua. The other one was, I believe, a man by the name of Hur. And they said that any time that Moshe had his arms raised, Israel would be winning. And then when his arms fell, they would be losing. They were fighting the Amalekites. Okay? That's what that piece talks about. And then in Devarim 25 and 17, I'll just give you these. It happens to them again where he's reiterating this thing that actually happens on the road coming out from Egypt. And in 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 1, let's just go there for a second. So, 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 1. I'm just reading. This must be different back there. It says, remember what Amalek did to you on the road as you were going out of Egypt. It says how he met you by the road and attacked you, those in the rear, those who were exhausted and straggling behind when you were tired and weary. He did not fear El. Therefore, when Yahweh your El has given you the rest from all your surrounding enemies and the land, Yahweh your El is giving you as your inheritance to possess. He's quoting what? An oath that he had between Abraham and himself. It's right here in the mitzvot. He's explaining it. He says, you are to blot out all the memory of Amalek under the heaven. Do not forget. That is a mitzvah. You're supposed to annihilate him. Okay? Now, I'm going to pick back up in verse 4 of 15. It says, Shaul summoned the people and reviewed them at Ta'alam, or Talaim, 200,000 foot soldiers and another 10,000 men from Yehuda. Because why? Yehuda always goes out first. Shaul arrived at the city of Amalek and lay in wait in the valley. Now, in 6, it says, Shaul said to the Keni, all right, go away, withdraw, leave your homes there with the Amalek. Otherwise, I will destroy you along with them, even though you were kind to all the people of Israel when they came out of Egypt. I'm going to stop for a second right here because there's a word in there that says the Keni. This is one of my proofs when people ask me how I know that the people that Hebrew Israel are even affiliated with are melanated people is right there in that verse. You're going to say, how in the world do you pull that those were melanated people out of that verse? In order to understand that, you got to understand who the Keni are. The Kenites. In Judges chapter number 1, verse 16, this was a friendly group of people. It says the descendants of Moshe's father-in-law, the Kenite, went up from the city of palms with the people of Yehuda to live among the inhabitants of the desert of Yehuda in the Negev Arad. I just proved to you that these are melanated people. How am I getting there? Okay, let's go. I said Moshe was married to a Kenite woman. The Kenite woman, it says here, her father was a Kenite. So that makes her a Kenite. He's married to her. Who was Moshe's wife? Zipporah. It reads of her. I'm going to say this like a poet. It reads of Zipporah in Bamidbar chapter 12, verse 1, when it says that she was an Ethiopian. The Kenites are black folk. Because text, again, let's string it together. Text says that what? Moshe was married to, or his father-in-law is a Kenite. That means that his daughter is a Kenite. And Bamidbar says that she is an Ethiopian. Ethiopians are dark-skinned people. Okay? He would have married some. When you look at it, it's sitting right there in front of you. There's a big word that starts with a K. It's a proof. And again, when you look at it at face value, you say, oh, it's just, I don't see any. No, come on, let's lift up the hood and see. Oh, so that's how that runs. Got it. Okay? Let's go back. Back to Shemuel chapter 15, verses number 6. Shaul said to the Keni, so these are friends, go away, withdraw, leave your homes there with the Amalek. Otherwise, I might destroy you along with them, even though you were kind to all the people of Israel when they came out of Mitzrayim. So the Keni went away from among the Amaleki. Then Shaul attacked Amalek, starting with Havilah and continuing toward Shur at the border of Mitzrayim. He took Agag, the king of Amalek, alive. What were your orders? Kill them all. But he completely destroyed the people, putting them to the sword. However, Shaul and the people spared Agag along with the best of the sheep and cattle, and even the second best, also the lambs, and everything that was good. They weren't inclined to destroy these things, but everything that was worthless or weak, they completely destroyed. We just went through the whole entire mitzvah and said what you were supposed to do. What kind of leadership are we under here? I want to get this in because I want to wet your whistle with this. Because not only did Agag survive, but his descendant survived. If we go over to the book of Esther, you know this issue where Esther and Mordecai and they go up against Haman. Haman is a descendant of Agag. He's an Amalek. So you can see how this group of people continues to play havoc. Now you got a connection back in Shemuel with this people that's going to show up again in the book of Esther. That's that battle. This is the reason we have Haman, is because Shaul didn't finish what he started. Then the word of Yahweh came to Shemuel. I regret setting up Shaul as king because he has turned back from following me and hasn't obeyed my orders. There is a dissertation that I need to give you on this regret, because I want to put you in the mind of where the Most High is. But do you know what? I got to reveal it to you next week when we come back. So, to all the Ibir online, the Ibir in this house, the Ibir, Pan-Ibir. You know how we talk about Pan-Africanism all over the world? Pan-Ibir. I bless you. Yiverekaka Yahweh v'yishmareka. Yair Yahweh panav eleka v'huneka yisa Yahweh panav eleka v'yasha laka shalom. Which simply means, may Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh make his face to shine on you and show you unmitigated, unrendered, unhampered. I'm trying to think of all the uns I want to give you. Whatever uns they are, an infinite of uns. Whatever roadblocks are there, his unmitigated favor. May Yahweh lift up his face towards you and give you shalom until next week. Thank you.